Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's the Tuesday video. Yay! We're doing the drawing video today. Normally I try to draw everything on paper first, all of that stuff. This time it was a little bit different. I decided to go ahead and do a video digitally. It's on Procreate, so it's one of the most accessible art programs I've found. I really like it. That's really all I have to say. The poll was three different bunnies that, I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of fun. I did, we had Judy Hopps, we had Usagi Yojimbo, and we had Bugs Bunny. When I finally checked, it was Bugs Bunny. So, hey, why not? Let's do some Bugs Bunny today. Anyways, normally I prefer to do this stuff a little bit more live, but for some reason, nothing seemed to work. So I had to film, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk over it again this time. Clearly, again, all unscripted because, well, that's how I like to do these videos. But anyways, we'll get on to it here in just 1 second. I just want to say thank you again. I'm actually launching my Discord and my Patreon this week. I'll have all the information on my Friday video. Thank you so much, and enjoy. All right, so let's start with a little Bugs Bunny. Like I said at first, I filmed this all on Procreate, so the first little bit is a bit of a time lapse. It's for some reason the filming just did not work, so I had to do it the best I could. So I'm going through with pencils and just getting everything lightly sketched in right now. And then as I'm doing that, I'm tightening everything up just so we can get ready to do all the ink work. And hey, look at that transition. That was kind of fun, right? So this is where things kind of slowed down a little bit. I'm doing it really meticulous. All of the brushes that I have, or that I'm using right now, are all brushes that I've made in Procreate. I love all the basic Procreate brushes, especially in the new update. That was part of the reason why I wanted to use this. But it also made it, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but so much easier, in my opinion, to do your brush customization. There we go. I can get this out, I promise. But because of that, with all the brush customization and everything, with the prior updates, I liked them, but this one seemed a lot more natural and a little bit more intuitive. I kind of liked that. Literally, Bugs is such a straightforward character that I didn't have to do much. Obviously, my brain goes into weird, I have to put more detail in. Unfortunately, you can't do that with him. It has to be simple. There's really no other way around it. Bugs is a very simple character. That's one of the beautiful things about these old animated, shorts, was these guys had to crank this stuff out quick. So there's not a lot of room for getting all those extra details. That's part of the reason why they only have 3 fingers and not 4. That extra finger is a lot of extra animation. Or it was back in the day. Now, with everything being digital, it's so much easier. But I always liked Bugs. He was such a fun character. He's the ultimate disruptor. He's kind of a trickster, And if you didn't like Bugs, well, who is your favorite? Seriously, I'd love to know who your favorite Looney Tune was. For me, a lot of it was kind of a toss-up between Bugs Bunny and, excuse me personally, I always had a soft spot for Daffy Duck. But Bugs, you could tell, was always the ringleader. He was the guy in charge. No, excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups. But going back on Procreate here, this was really easy. You're going to see where I even left some flaws in there, I'm going to go through. I'm not one of those people that dog on people that do digital art, screaming about the undo button and all of that. Because let's be honest, the undo button makes things a lot easier. It actually helps you make your stuff look a little bit more professional or whatever you want to call it. And to be honest, being able to zoom in, if you're not zooming in and doing it that way, good on you. I wish I could do that. Me, my weirdness, I have to zoom in all the time. Even on paper sometimes. I find myself trying to do the two-finger stretch to open everything up, zoom it in so I can see what's going on. But anyways, the pen brush I have, it's literally the most simple brush in the world. It's a round brush that I messed with the tapers on. Nothing fancy. I think I put a little bit of grain to it just because I think it looks cool. Nothing bigger than that. Sorry, I'm actually looking at the drawing as we go because, well, I drew it, but sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out. A lot of choices you see I'm making in ink aren't exactly the way they were in the original. And a lot of that is, as I'm going, a lot of times, if I see something that I need to correct or I need to work on, I just go ahead and make those corrections. There's no shame in that, really. I'm going to see little things that I want to kind of change up a little bit. The other thing is I'm a big fan of the flick. I'm a big fan of little subtle curves, subtle lines. But at the same time, it always comes down to I don't need things to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. It's art. Have fun. Make it art. Make it a drawing that you did that you're proud of, that you're having fun with. Because really, that's all that matters, is having fun with everything. It's not rocket science. You don't have to have these perfectly, beautifully rendered images to say you're an artist. That's why I do a lot of these very simple pen and ink kind of drawings. I'm not doing a drawing demo to show off. I'm honestly using this as an excuse for y'all to listen to me ramble. But also, I don't think you need to have fully rendered, fully realized images to get your point across. If you're not an artist, when I say if you're not an artist, what I mean is if you're not a professional artist who is a painter, you don't have to show off the biggest, baddest painting every day. Just sit down and sketch. Most of these guys aren't doing these big, huge monster paintings and cranking them out every day, all day. But they are sketching every day. They are wasting paper. They are destroying forests, if you will. If you're doing digital images, you are constantly clogging up your files. I couldn't see you not. But I guess what I'm getting down to is just, like I said, try to have fun with things. That's really all it comes down to. Anybody can draw. I will preach this until I croak. Anyone can draw. You don't have to be a professional to put out work. You don't have to be a professional to enjoy drawing. It's not necessary. God, I see where my scripted voice and my real voice are kind of different, but that's cool. I like that. These are made to be fun. I'm showing you guys a little drawing, having a little fun with you guys, and I enjoy that. So give yourself some grace sometimes. Not everything has to be perfect. I say that all the time. Embrace the suck. But anyways, if anything I can lean on is don't be perfect. Be beautifully imperfect, because we all are. I'm going to leave you with that. As I'm finishing this up, you can kind of see we're just inking everything in. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and click on the click the like, click the subscribe, click the bell to get alerts, and come back and see me. I'd love to see you. Anyways, I will talk at you later. Get out there, embrace the suck, go out, make bad art, and come back and see me, and we'll talk about it. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.